Are you looking for gift ideas for a photographer? They can be really hard to shop for because you're not sure what they need, you're not sure what kind of quality to buy, and you don't want to break the bank, right? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 10 gift ideas for your photographer, and trust me, these are all products that are used in studios or by pros, and you're not going to break the bank, and that video is going to start right now. Hey everybody, my name is Sean Seymour, and let's start this video right now. Gift idea number 10, we're gonna work our way backwards here, is actually some brands that you can trust. They're brands that I use in the studio. If you're not quite sure what to get your photographer, you can go browse some of these brand sites and see if there's anything that you want. I've put the link in the description below. In addition to that, I'm actually gonna share with you some more gift ideas that I think you'll find value in. The first brand name that you can trust and know that you're getting quality is called Peak Design. Peak Design has some great bags, which is how I was introduced to them, but they've expanded quite a bit since then. So if you're interested in a high quality brand, Peak Design has a lot of things that you can take a look at. The next one I want to talk about is called Think Tank. Now, Think Tank is, in my opinion, the best bag manufacturer on the market. You cannot go wrong buying someone a Think Tank bag unless they have the exact same bag already. So take a look at Think Tank. You can't go wrong if you think your photographer wants to have a long-lasting bag. Next one I would recommend is called Small Rig. I came across Small Rig because of their cages. When I first started out, I had several cages for my Canon gear. Check them out for all of the other things that they have too, because they have a lot of other accessories like clamps, LED lights, you name it, they've got it. Next one I want to cover is called Godox. My whole studio runs everything I do in the exterior world. My studio runs on this Godox 600 Pro. I have the AD 200 Pro, which I've also got a video on. I've got videos on both of these if you're interested in the reviews, but you can't go wrong with Godox. They've got a ton of stuff that you can take a look at. And if your photographer is growing in their photography, they're probably going to want a flash or a strobe at some point, and this is a great place to start. The next brand that I would recommend is called Ulanzi. They are vlog friendly or YouTube friendly for your content creators out there, but they're also got a lot of accessories for photographers. They make high quality product at a lower price to you. So this is where you can bargain shop and you're still gonna get high quality, but it's not going to break the bank. Okay, the last brand that I want to recommend to you is called Breakthrough Photography out of San Francisco, California. And what they do is they do filters. Now, filters go on the outside of your lens, and let's take the case of a neutral density filter. What that does is it reduces the amount of light that goes through the lens. If you have a photographer, they will immediately get more creative with their shots, and if you have a videographer or someone that's shooting video, they'll be able to shoot video in places that they couldn't before, like outdoors. And if you have a beginning photographer, it's likely that they have not spent the money on a filter yet, so you giving them this gift, they will absolutely love it. The other companies that I recommend are companies like Apple, Canon, and Nikon. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on any of that stuff, but you can't go wrong buying an Apple product, you can't go wrong buying a Canon product, and you can't go wrong buying a Nikon product. Now, if you have some questions about cameras or what kind of Nikon, Canon camera you might buy, and by the way, I stick to Canon and Nikon because those are the two brands that I personally have used in my career, but it doesn't mean that the other brands that are out there, that those guys are not just as good. So if you have any questions about cameras, just let me know in the comments down below and I'd be happy to get back to you. Okay, now that we've covered number 10, which is basically some brands that you can trust, right? We're gonna go to number 9. Think about getting them some memory, and this is called an SSD drive. It's 1 terabyte. You can get up to 4 terabytes, but really price-wise, the 1 terabyte works just fine. It's super fast access, so it reads and writes at a very fast speed. So even if your photographer is thinking about getting into video, this will actually transfer to video. This is a high quality drive, and it's something that they need and that they will want as they progress. Now, if you're person has been shooting for a while, I'll give you a little extra tip right here, and that is that they may want a memory card for their camera and they can't afford a larger memory card or something that's quick and fast that their camera can read and write to. Some people just don't even know what kind of memory card they should have. Here you go. This is SanDisk Extreme Pro, 200 megabytes a second, and this is 128 gigabytes for $24. You can't get it any better than that, and they will definitely use it. Gift idea number 8 is going to be camera straps. Now, a lot of people overlook camera straps, but as they get going, they either use the stock strap that came with the camera or they switch out. And when you switch out, the important part is you want to switch out to a camera strap system. Black Rapid is a system. You can expand the system as much as you like. This is a single strap right here, and the nice thing about this is the camera sits at your side, and when you're ready to shoot, you just bring it up to your face, and this nice dongles at the end of the camera strap slide right along the strap, and then you can put your camera right back without any problem. So it's very, very fast. This is used by professional sports shooters. Most of the time you'll see Black Rapid sports straps being used on the sidelines of any sports game. Remember, we talked a little bit about Peak Design. Well, Peak Design has a system also. I think it's more for the cameras like your tourist cameras. What I like about this particular system is it also is a system. These are quick releases right here, which are really nice. These little dongles stay on your camera all the time, and I actually have them on my camera right now, which is my YouTube camera, but is also my travel camera. Peak Design also has a wrist strap for this, and these are quick releases here, so your camera's off and on very fast. And they just snap into place like this, and that's that. So if you have a photographer that you're trying to buy a gift for and they are just starting out, straps are something that they probably are not thinking about. They probably want them, but they haven't been thinking about it, and so this makes a perfect gift idea. If you have a sports photographer, I would go to the Black Rapid strap. If you have a photographer that is a person that's carrying the camera, or landscape, or say, you know, city, street photography, that kind of thing, then I might go to the Peak Design. Okay, the next gift idea, number 7. Number 7 is the very simple, every photographer needs it, and there's not ever enough of them around when you need them, and that is the reflector. What a reflector does is it simply redirects light so that when you're shooting a portrait or you're trying to get more light into an area, all you need to do is break out this reflector. They fold up into a nice, neat pouch, and they're very easy to carry. This particular reflector I've never used, but this is the best that I found on Amazon. It has a lot of different options. These simply zip on, zip off, and the price is perfect. In a video that I have right up here, I show you how to shoot pictures outside, and that is where I use the translucent reflector. Just a lot of variation and a lot of options here, and if you've got a beginner photographer who is looking for a way to add some dynamic lighting to their portraits or to some of their shots, reflector is something that they're going to need, and it won't break your bank. Gift idea number 6. All of your pro photographers are going to use, but very rarely do you see an amateur photographer use these, but they will. So if you bought it for them, let's say you've got a beginning photographer again, this is something that they will use. It's called a gray card or a white card or a black card. Usually they're going to use gray for photography and white for video. For $7.99, you can't beat this. This is a gray card, white card, and a black card. You take a picture of the gray card before you do your shoot. Now you can calibrate your software so that you know that everything you shot after that is going to be perfectly color balanced. Let's say that you've got a semi-pro or pro photographer. The chances of them having this already are pretty good, but if they don't, this is the Cadillac of color balance cards. It's called the Color Checker Passport. This Color Checker Passport is actually something that folds up nice and neat. It fits in your bag and you can shoot it whenever you do a brand new photo shoot. That gives you the true colors that you need to calibrate your software or to create a custom profile on your camera. Trust me that if you spend the money on this, this is something that every photographer will use. Gift idea number 5. Remember, we talked a little bit about Think Tank at the beginning of this video. Well, the next thing that your photographer is going to be looking for, and probably will buy a ton of before they land on a good brand, is bags. Every photographer has too many bags or not enough bags. I personally have probably bought at least, and this is no exaggeration, 30 bags in my career that I have for gear. My bags, fortunately, have come down to the company called Think Tank. That's the only brand that I buy now when I buy a bag, and I own a ton of them. So let's just show you a couple of these. So here's your international right here. This Think Tank bag right here has been on over 500 shoots. No exaggeration, and it is still functioning perfectly. There is not anything wrong with the bag, no rips, no tears. For 500 shoots, it has been my go-to bag for everything that I do. Another bag that I've played around with a little bit has been the Airport Navigator. I use this when I'm traveling and I want to take enough photo gear that I can be dangerous. It's a great bag, more compact, and it allows you also to put your regular computer bag or whatever on top. If you're carrying photo gear with you and you can take a shoulder bag or something like that, this works great. Urban Approach is literally my bag for all of my video gear. Everything that I need to video, I take with this bag. This one goes to Mexico with me multiple times a year, and it's just absolutely a great bag. Now, this is not a roller, this is just a shoulder bag, but it's got everything you need from your laptop area to all of your camera stuff. This is the Mirrorless Mover 20, and it's a great bag. Magnetic front here, which is kind of cool, but this is actually what I carry my drone in, believe it or not. It's a great bag. It's been with me for years, and there's no wear and tear on this thing. It works perfectly. And for those of you that just want a little bit more of a retro style, this one is really cool. It's their Think Tank Retrospective 4. I have the version previous to this, but I can tell you what, it's a great bag. And the cool thing about this bag is that it doesn't really look like a photographer's bag, so it's not as high profile when you're out and about in public. And then last thing I want to mention about them is their belt system. If you have a wedding photographer or a sports photographer, or even somebody that's shooting senior portraits, a belt system is very nice because you buy this belt and then you can go ahead and you can add any accessories that you want. So if you have lens holders that you want to put on there, let's say you want to take a longer lens, maybe like a 70-200, you can mix and match and put whatever you want on there. I have the longer lens holder there. I also have several of these little pouches because I need a place to put my cell phone and my car keys and all of that while we're out and about. And of course they have the last one that I own is the flash. And the way these work is very simple. On the back there is some Velcro and there's a few stiffeners in here, and it just attaches to your belt. You can choose whether or not you want it to slide along the belt or it stays put on the belt. Gift idea number 4. Neutral density filters. That's a gift idea that nobody really thinks about. They tend to be a little bit more expensive, but trust me that this will be a gift that the person keeps their entire photography career. If you buy the right filter, they will keep it forever. Now, what is a neutral density filter? You can check out my video up here if you would like, but in essence, what it does is it removes some of the light that goes through the camera and is recorded by the sensor. Why is that important? Well, when you're doing things like landscape photography, you want to make that nice smooth water. Or you're videoing outside and you want your settings to be something that is going to make your video look really good. And to do that, you need a neutral density filter. Neutral density filters come in all shapes and sizes and different powers. So one of the things that you probably are going to need to know is what is their favorite lens, what are they using that lens for, and what is the millimeter size of the opening of the lens. So you'll see down here at the bottom of this page, we start having different sizes, 49 millimeters, 67 millimeter, and so on. Breakthrough Photography, you can't go wrong with these guys. They make the best glass in the industry. If you were looking for different options and you didn't want to spend the money on Breakthrough Photography, you can go to a company called Freewell. Freewell is also a good company for neutral density filters. They do everything from regular cameras all the way through to drones. So check these guys out. They have some good stuff, and actually they are the ones that I use for my drone filters. So if you know what kind of drone your photographer has, or you know what kind of camera lens your photographer is using, you can size it up correctly and get them a neutral density filter for it. Trust me that the neutral density filter is something that a lot of photographers that are brand new do not spend their money on, but would love it as a gift. Gift idea number 3. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a gift idea, and it is tripods. When I say don't be cheap on tripods, that's exactly what I mean. If you can't afford to buy them a tripod that is actually quality, then don't buy it for them. My tripods that I spent money on previously, I still own. Get quality, forget about buying cheap when it comes to tripods. What are some of my recommendations? A very, very simple entry-level tripod is called the Manfrotto 190. I typically like the 4-section tripods because they give you a little bit more flexibility than the 3 sections do. Another thing to do is to make sure that you don't overlook people like Small Rig. Small Rig actually makes a very, very competitive tripod. For $119, you're getting a carbon fiber tripod, so it's lightweight. It comes with a ball head. All in all, it's a great gift idea. Trust me, you cannot go wrong in buying them something of quality. Gift idea number 2. The next product I'm going to recommend is made by a company called Anker, and actually this should have been in my brand recommendations, but I just didn't get it in there in time. Anker makes some really good products. They make some very high quality craftsmanship type products, and they work really, really well. They've got a whole bunch of different things that you can select from here in their main store, so feel free to take a look at the link below and double check that out. They've got everything from adapters to power stations to your iPhone MagSafe chargers, everything. The one adapter that I wanted to show you here is called the 7-in-1 USB-C hub. And I'm not going to throw a bunch of technical jargon on you here, but essentially what this does is it gives you a way to plug into your computer or iPad and expands the capabilities and the ports of your computer or your iPad. You can see here that there is an SD card slot reader and a micro SD card slot reader. There's also an HDMI connection, so if you want to plug into a larger TV and expand your computer that way. There's a USB-C input, which allows you to power up either your iPad or whatever it is you're connecting, and then also a data port for USB-C, so if I wanted to plug in a storage drive like an SSD drive, I can do that. There's a few extra USB 3 ports for things like connecting to your mouse or other adapters that you want to expand on. All around, this is a great adapter. It's made very well. For a gift, it is not going to break the bank, and your photographer or videographer will find this very, very helpful. And the last gift idea, number 1. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is a little bit more expensive, but trust me, I'm not making any recommendations of things that I have not used and that I don't stand behind myself. The reason that I recommend this for any up-and-coming photographer is because this gives you the flexibility to take your photography from that amateur kind of low-level photography up to the next level of almost pro but not pro, your semi-pro. You can look like a pro though with this particular unit, and it's made by Godox. It's called the AD200 Pro. I have a full review of it right up here, but the AD200 Pro is essentially a flash unit that acts like a strobe. And what I mean by that is it is in the flash unit kind of compact size, but you can also turn it into a low powered strobe, which allows you to do portrait photography. It allows you to do business portraits. It allows you to do a lot of stuff that you couldn't do before with just natural light. If you buy this one, you're also going to want to get them the X Pro trigger, which is a wireless trigger, and it allows them to put the strobe over there and it will flash when I take a picture over here. So this attaches to the top of the camera and allows them to wirelessly control the strobe. One word of caution, these wireless triggers come brand specific. So if I'm using a Canon, I need to get the X Pro C. You want to double check all that, but this is like the granddaddy of taking your new photographer or budding photographer or amateur photographer and helping them get to the next level by providing them with essentially a low powered strobe that they can now start doing some semi-professional work with. Well, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more of this kind of content. And if you would like to take a look at my review for that smartphone holder from Ulanzi, you can take a look at that right over here. Until I see you on the next video, my friend, keep it simple.